Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. For those of you who are new, my name's Eva. And for those of you who are coming back, as always, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome to another MLM shit show. Eva, what is going on? Another extra video this week, you may be thinking, or maybe not. I've been very motivated lately to try and put out more content for you guys, and so far so good. I've been very happy. I'm getting better at editing time wise, so it doesn't really take me as long to edit videos as it used to be. Quickly, let's take a look at the graph. You know the drill. Please like, subscribe, comment, leave your opinions down below. You know I like to hear them. I love to speak to you guys in the comments down below, and obviously it would really help me out a lot if you would subscribe if you've been enjoying my content. And yeah, let's just put a little disclaimer in here and let's get into today's video. Alright, so today's gonna be a little bit of a wild one. Oh my god, my mic is not listening to me. It's an interview from two Monat Huns, and there's a lot of income claims and stuff like that, so let's just get into it.
Into the Activate podcast. If you are looking for a way to make an extra $300 to $500 online without being spammy or salesy, you are going to love this conversation. I'm actually so excited because my amazing friend and mentor is going to be coming on here. She is someone who has an incredible journey. She has been a part of the business partnership I'm a part of for 5 years, was her last month. But you're going to hear her story of skepticism. You're going to hear her transformation story. And then you're going to hear how she has created a multi-million-dollar hair and skincare business. So we're going to hear her story. We're going to hear her absolute best tips as to how to create this brand online in a way that is attractive, you know, that pull marketing pulling back towards you versus like that push marketing or feeling like you're like pushing people away. So you're gonna love hearing this. If you guys wouldn't mind, while you're on here live, there's a little question box in the bottom. If you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments and we will do some questions at the very end if needed. And I'm just so excited to interview her. I want to make sure she's getting on okay. I know that she's got Dawson, literally mom life. So making sure she's able to get on. Okay, there she is. There she is. All right, I'm going to pull her on. Short and sweet. Busy mom life. She's got places to go, people to see. So we're going to be short and sweet today. Hopefully that pulled her on. There she is. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, friend?
Good. What's up, you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you great.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. I'm just making sure my camera's good.
You're good.
Let's
You're
do
good.
this.
All right. So we're going to keep this short and sweet. What I would love for you to just open, if you could give us the brief on your story. You know, the premise of this is how do we make some extra cash online without being that spammy girl? And I love that you're going to share this because you've actually been with Monat now for 5 years, but your first 7 months of using the products, you were like a silent user because you were like skeptical of the network marketing world. So could you just
Okay, I'm just gonna say, like, this interview is called How to Make an Extra $300 to $500 per month. So there's an income claim literally in the title. So just by seeing that, I knew this is probably gonna be a good one. I screen recorded it, but I wasn't listening, so I'm kind of blind reacting. Income disclosure statement is gonna be down below. I think they put out the 2021, so I'm gonna update that one and I'm gonna put it down below in the description box where we're gonna be able to see that no one is earning $300 to $500, especially not the people that only join. As they're saying, if you join right at the start, you're gonna be getting this extra cash every month. But we see per the income disclosure statement that none of these people, like 90% or even more, are not earning anything. Let's move on.
Share a little bit of your background and like your journey through that.
100%. So hello, everyone. I'm Erica. And yeah, it was March 2017 that I started using these products in secret. I didn't want anyone to know about them because I didn't want to be that girl. And I was so afraid of like potentially becoming someone who was salesy or sleazy or whatever. The whole stigma that I feel like people have around this industry. But the truth is that I was falling in love with these products. My hair was transforming. And I'm the type of person who I just like, when I like something, I want to share it. Right. And I'd actually done direct sales, like now it's probably like over like 10 years ago. So I had a bad experience. I was like, that past experience that I had was everything basically that I didn't want to do and that people like don't like you for. I was that girl. Okay. Like I was like, they told me to go to the conferences. They told me to send out the invites. I did all the things. We didn't even actually use social media, which is crazy when I did that business. Insane. But yeah, I just like, I had this total stigma around this industry and I was so afraid of being that girl. But the truth is that I was needing another income stream. And when you think about it, okay, so, and I think there's probably every single person on this call right now could probably use an extra $300 to $500. I mean, inflation on average is costing the average American an additional like $280 per household. Some of the stats I've learned recently about like the economics of this country are insane. Most people are at like over 6,000 in credit card debt. Somewhere around like each millennial, it's going to take us like $2.5 million just to retire. Most people didn't even save $1 for retirement in 2021. So like, it's kind of rough out there, right? So,
and now it's like, even now is the time millennials need to be investing $300 to $500 a month so we can get to 2.5 million by the time we retire. So like, this is the most important time to have that. Even just a few $100 makes such a difference when you're thinking compound interest.
100%. And the thing is that I'm so grateful that 4.5 years ago, I was thinking about my future, because I was thinking about like, okay, where, you know, I was in my 20s, late 20s. I was like, where do I want to be in a couple years? What do I want my life to look like? What, I mean, my husband and I were passing ships. He was working in the fitness industry. And while on paper, his job was like something that he was obsessed with, he was burnt out. I mean, he was working 6 days a week from like 5 a.m. coming home at 8 p.m. I mean, sometimes he'd get to come home for lunch. Cool. But like, I never saw him. We were pretty newly married. And I was like, this is not sustainable. I had a work from Wi-Fi job and I had my own business. I was an online business consultant and coach. But I was miserable. Like I didn't have freedom. I didn't have like time. I didn't have control of my time. I was constantly pouring in to my business and I was exchanging dollars for hours. Right. And so I needed another income stream, but I also didn't have all this extra time. Like I was very time poor. So what do you do? What do you do when you don't have a lot of time? You also I didn't have a lot of extra finances whatsoever. We had a lot of credit card debt. We were in a massive.
Okay, just a quick one there. What do you do when you don't have a lot of money and when you want to get more money or a side income? I don't know what do you do, but I know what you shouldn't do, in my opinion, and that is joining a network marketing, because that's not gonna get you an extra income per month. It's not gonna get you an extra few $100. There's no fucking way. We've seen so many income disclosure statements so far. That's not gonna happen. MLMs are not the answer here. For that matter, MLMs are rarely ever an answer, in my own opinion. But anyways, let's move on.
Amount of debt from student loans as well. And we were just trying to like make it out in the world, you know, as a new married couple. So what do you do when you are struggling financially? You're kind of just like living paycheck to paycheck. You don't really have any time, and you and your spouse are working around the clock, and you need to make an extra income. What do you do? Like, what do you like? Sell your, you know, do a closet sale? Like, I don't know. Like, what are the options? The options aren't that many, but there is an option in social selling. And I was that person, like I said, who was I didn't want to do it because of this stigma. But here's what I want you to understand is that while I was
Okay, I just want to say there is actually a lot of different options that you can do. And like I said, MLMs are definitely not a solution there. And she's making it seem like there's not that many things that you can do on the side for an income, but there is. You can get another job, you can get a part-time job, you can do something freelance, you can sell your clothes. Actually, I did that in the past and it worked out fine for me. There's lots of different things that you can do. Don't join an MLM. You're just gonna end up investing, aka losing more money.
Poor and didn't have a lot of time. I did have time to scroll on social media, and I was spending time at the end of the day just zoning out on Netflix, just like exhausted from my work. And so what I started doing was I just started to take 1 hour a day. Okay, 1 hour a day. Instead of using that time on Instagram or wasting my time scrolling on the feed, I was like, let me start creating some content. Let me start creating some conversations. Let me start creating value. Let me start sharing about these products that have already been helping me. And that's like literally where I started, y'all. Like if you can sit on the toilet, you can
I
work
literally call it toilet time with my new people who are working full time. I'm like, build your business on toilet time, guys.
Yeah. And so because ultimately what I knew it was, because like, here's the deal. Like, we're not trying to say like, this is how you want to live the rest of your life. No, ultimately what my goal was to buy back some of my time and to start making an income that could allow me to start working less, Okay. Like that's literally what I want. And also like the idea of residual income, right? The idea of residual income is that you are making, you know, making a sale, or you're growing a business. And while you're growing that business, like it starts to compound. It's kind of like, imagine like a snowball, right? Going down a hill, just like getting bigger and bigger. Like that's what it was happening, was it's starting to snowball month by month. And soon enough, I was able to start taking less clients. I was able to start working less because of that. And also the idea of residual income is, and you can roll your eyes at this all you want, but it's the idea of making money while you sleep. It's the idea that, you know, it's like right now, as I'm talking to you guys, it's probably one of my customers are buying a product right now because they're out of dry shampoo, right? Like they need to stock up. Like that's literally the business model that we have. And it is specifically for busy people. It's specifically for people who need something, but they feel like a little bit like their back's against the wall, or they just don't have the capacity. And so many of the girls in my team, that's how we start, right? We didn't have a lot of capacity. But yeah, I mean, my story, I don't know how much you want me to tell my story, but like ultimately that's where I found myself 4.5 years ago, coming up on 5 years. And it was the best career decision I've ever made for myself. And I have never looked back since. Like truly what I want you guys to understand is that I'm still here, still talking about this business, still talking about this opportunity. Jasmine was one of the first people to join me, literally. Back in October of 2017, we met each other for the first time, and I was like, who's this girl? She's crushing it. Literally came in, like blew it out of the water. Still to this day, 4.5 years ago, one of the top earners on my entire team. And like you and I both like had the same goals, right? Like we wanted more freedom, more time with our families. We wanted more flexibility. We wanted to be able to determine our own work hours. You know, I'm about to go to an appointment right now after this live with Dawson, like in the middle of the afternoon on a Tuesday, because I can, you know, and that's like the beauty of this business. So
I think, yeah, if you could even just shed light a little bit into just like what your life looks like now, because, you know.
Okay, well, I hate when they say this is for busy people, because no, it's not. If you're really that busy and exhausted from your full-time work or having multiple jobs or whatever, the last thing you need is another MLM hustle on the side where you're gonna have to spend all of your time on the phone, cold messaging, doing calls, trainings, whatever. You're gonna have to neglect your kids, your husband, your friendships, your family if you're already busy, and then you're adding another side hustle, but you're not even gonna get any money off of it. So you're just gonna risk your relationship, your personal relationships, your time to relax and unwind on spending on this shitty business. In my own opinion, this isn't for busy people. And I love how they keep contradicting by saying, oh, you shouldn't scroll and waste your time on social media. But if people aren't scrolling and wasting their time on social media, how are they gonna see your salesy posts and DM you about the opportunity? Like, it doesn't really make sense.
So you guys know she's made a few $1 million with Monat. She's earned a lot of it. She's now a mom who's not only home with Dawson, her new son, but her husband Kyle is home too. And that is just, especially in that new postpartum time when there's just so much transition, the fact that you guys can tackle this as a team is a game changer, an absolute game changer. So can you kind of brag on yourself a little bit? I want the people to hear, like, you went from skeptical to building a multi-million-dollar business. Like, incredible. I've got little kids popping and we have,
I love it,
pouring rain over here. So they're like, what's going on? They're all huddled.
It's pouring rain here too. That's so funny. Okay, so I'll give you a rundown of what a day in the life would look like for us before money. Okay, so day in the life would be Kyle would wake up around 4 a.m. He'd jump in the shower. He'd get dressed. He'd leave before I even opened my eyes. He'd be gone. He'd be coaching clients by the time I was waking up. He'd be there all day. He'd probably try to come home for lunch. If he couldn't come home for lunch, he'd probably be eating like a protein bar because he had no time to ever make a lunch because it was just crazy time all the time. And then I would be pretty much waking up and being like, okay, well, I'm going to start getting to like my morning routine. I would do a little bit of morning routine and then I would work from Wi-Fi. But I was pretty much back-to-back calls all day long with clients because I was working one-to-one with people. And then maybe if I saw them at lunch, that'd be nice, a little break, but most times I didn't. And then I would probably have like a group training call that I would do with a different program that I was selling as an online business coach in the evening. And I would do that. And then he'd come home for dinner and that would be around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'd try to have dinner together and then literally both just collapse on the couch after working all day and being exhausted. And we did that 6 hours or 6 days a week. Okay. And by Sunday, you're just like, you're trying to breathe. You're trying to get one day, you know, the Sunday scaries. Yeah, we lived that. Okay. And financially, I mean, we were in a lot of debt. We were driving one car that we were sharing. we were making a decent amount of money. That's what's crazy, is that we were actually making a decent amount of money. His salary was pretty decent, pretty average for most Americans. And he was also working on top of that with personal training clients. And I was making a really decent amount of money, but my business costed a lot to run. And because we had so much debt, like it just felt like we were never getting ahead. We were just paying the minimums on credit cards. We were just trying to pay the minimums on our student loans. Like it was so stressful, you guys. And I remember just like holidays and Christmas time, just wanting to be with family. And
okay, first of all, I just want to say work from Wi-Fi. I just find this so funny because most of the jobs that you do, regular jobs, you do need internet to work, so you're technically working from a Wi-Fi. But then again, they were earning a decent amount of money, but they were still overworked. The bills are high. Hey, guess what? Most of the average people, like if you're not rich, this is what you have to deal with. If you want to save or if you want to travel, everything is so expensive. So even if you do have two incomes in the family that are decent, it's still very hard. If you were just not saving and not using that money, that salaries, to travel or save for a house or something, then you were probably living above your pay rate. So your lifestyle was too expensive for the pay that you had.
like we couldn't really afford it. It was hard. And like, again, we were just newlyweds, you know, dreaming about this life we were going to create together. And honestly, it was anything but a dream at this time. And so, you know, fast forward now, I mean, yes, thank you, Jesus, for money, because we literally have a life of freedom. Kyle was able to leave his job back in 2018.
Woo!
Yeah, we're able.
Makes me fired up.
He was able to leave his job. It's actually crazy because his boss called him, okay, and was like, "We need to have a meeting." And he called him, and he was like, "We're gonna lessen your pay, but you're still gonna do the same amount of work." And he said, "I don't need this. I don't need this anymore. My wife is crushing it, Monat. You know what? Like things are going great here. I don't need this." And he literally said, "Here's my notice. I'm out." And can you imagine, like the same amount of work but less pay? Like that's what he was facing.
But in the reality, think about it, that's where most Americans are now. If you didn't get a 7% raise, you are getting paid less.
Because of inflation and taxes. Yep. And I just like, what's so crazy too is that building, had he stayed there, that building ended up, that fitness facility ended up, the business ended up getting sold, and it got knocked down. And now there's apartment complexes there. And that was our future. That was his job. That was what he put everything into. So can you imagine, had he stayed, you know, his job would have been taken from him anyways. You know, no job is secure. And that's what I want people to understand. We talk about this all the time. Like no job is secure. You have to make your own way in the world in order to really be like secure. So he ended up leaving his job in 2018. We packed up our life. We moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to Nashville, Tennessee. We were able to move into a home that was just so beautiful, something that we always dreamed of, like having a home that we could like really feel comfortable in and like be able to have guests over and just like,
I mean, you can see her in the background. It's the cutest.
I like interior design is one of my, I went to school for interior design. So it's like, it was so special for us to have that. We were able to completely get out of debt. Not only just get out of debt, but actually for the first time have quite a significant amount of money in savings and in investments. We actually just
wasn't it because you had student loan and credit? Wasn't it like almost $100,000? Like it was substantial.
It was like, together, both of us, our student loan debt and our credit card debt was almost $100,000.
It's like, are you kidding me, people? That's why I just want to be like, this is like just the beauty of what this is. It's not like it moves mountains if you really give this a go. So keep going. But
and some people and we thought, you know, that might take us the rest of our life to pay off. And most people, that's what you expect. And we were also thinking like, if we ever want to buy a home, if we ever want to like, you know, how are we going to be able to qualify? Our credit was terrible, you guys. Our credit was so bad from missed payments, you know, having to go on forbearance with my student loans, like legit, like I experienced all of that. And we were just like, how are we ever going to climb out of this hole that we're in? And it felt hopeless at times. And it was because of Monat, you guys. It was because of Monat that we were able to completely change our life. And I mean, not only is Kyle home, not only are we out of debt, not only have we been able to save up money to, you know, really have a comfortable amount of money that is available to us if we needed it. But we're also able to buy our dream property here in Nashville. We're going to be building our dream home. And just last week, I think it was last week or the beginning of this month, we were able to purchase some land actually out.
Okay, I really just gotta say, I hate how they're using inflation and their sad story about having so much debt and stuff. It might have helped you. You might be doing well. Maybe you joined early. Maybe you had followers before, so you recruited a bunch of people straight away. It works for you. But what about 99% of people that don't earn any money? You know that it's so tough now. It's so tough. It's so expensive. Targeting those people who are struggling anyway, you're targeting those people to struggle even more, to put even more of the money that they don't have into this stupid business opportunity. In my own opinion, it doesn't work. It's set up for you to fail. How? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to sleep calmly at night if I was doing that. But maybe that's just me.
Side of Nashville for investments, and we're actually going to be doing like a cool little project for Airbnbs and stuff. And it's like, the truth is like, was shampoo ever my dream? No. If you would have asked me, 5 years ago what I thought about shampoo, I'd be like, yeah, it's cool, it goes on your head, like whatever. I wasn't necessarily passionate about it, but I am passionate about changing lives, and I'm passionate about helping people have confidence, and I'm passionate about helping people have financial like buffers in their life so they can have some peace of mind and they can have some breathing room. And that is literally what this vehicle has done for us. Now, I disclaimer, obviously I have to say, like, obviously we've worked really hard. We made a lot of sacrifices in the beginning. I didn't watch Netflix in the beginning. I didn't really go out with girlfriends, on Friday nights to get drinks, because I was like working my business, and because I was like, you know what, the work I'm going to do now is going to set me up for a life that I'm never going to have to worry about saying no to something because of finances, or, I can't come see my family because we can't afford it. Like now I can, like, we're going to see family. We have all these vacations. We actually just booked a trip. We're taking my parents. We have never done this before, but we actually booked a house down in 30A. We're taking my mom and my dad, and my brother's coming in surprising. I hope my mom doesn't watch this, but we're going down to 30A for Mother's Day, and we're paying for the whole thing, and we're able to treat my family. And I'm like, this is why I said yes to this, because to me, like, family and time, like, I'm getting emotional. Like, this is what matters more than anything. So if you think that, like, you can't do this, I want you to know something. Like, I was just a small town girl from small town Pennsylvania. I had like a small graduating class of like 30 people. I was never popular. I was so afraid of public speaking. Like, I was not a super confident person, but I just had a dream. I had a dream that I was going to be able to have a life that I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And like, that was my dream. And you know what? I put the work in, and I put so much work in that now I look back and I'm like, I would do it 100 times over for the family experiences, for the freedom that we have now. Like, I would do it 100 times over. So, I mean, it's changed our life. It has completely changed our life. And it's why I sit here and I'm like, if you're not doing this, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, come on, like, do it.
Again, yes, it's changed your life maybe for the better, but what about the 99% of people that are not earning any money and that end up losing money, end up in debt? What about them? Just because you were lucky, if you can call that lucky, that this worked for you and financially is doing well for you, how can you just ignore the fact that 99% of people are not earning any money? Like, it's baffling. Constantly saying, oh, we worked so hard, so if you work hard, you're gonna do that too, right? But again, no, it literally doesn't have anything to do with the amount of hard work and effort that you put in, unless you have a big following or unless you join in early enough.
With us, like, trust me, we were skeptical too, but I'm telling you, like, there's nothing like this.
This is so amazing. It's like you can either continue to live the story of skepticism or what will people think, and like that's ultimately this like negative self-fulfilling prophecy, or like you think about what could be, what if this works, like what if this blessed my family, and when you lean more into that abundance versus scarcity, like this could be your journey. So yeah, thank you so much. The one thing I'd love to wrap up and think, because I'm huge on like my crew taking one action step. You know, if you think back to the beginning of their business, if there's one thing that you would say, if I focusing on this one thing is going to really help catapult me forward, or start at least get to the place where we're getting that $300 to $500 a month, where would you tell those who are listening to take that first step?
I mean, that first step, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. It's kind of like take a step, but then also take another step. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you is take 1 hour a day to work your business.
Yes.
1 hour of just focus energy.
Scrolling doesn't count.
No, like
scrolling
actual
does not count as working your business.
Yeah, and it's like,
so what does that hour look like if we would break that down? What would
What does that hour look like? Having conversations with people, telling people about why you're passionate about this, inviting them to try the products, sharing this business opportunity with them, telling them how it's going to change your life. Even if you haven't made $1 yet, you need to be sharing it. You need to be passionate about it. Find what makes you passionate about it and just share it. Share it. Who cares? Whatever they're going to say is whatever they're going to say. You can't control people's timelines, and you don't have to be pushy. We're never salesy. Like, I have never to this day once ever sent a cold message. To this day, I have never ever been pushy with anyone, ever, not one time in 4.5 years. But I'm really passionate about this opportunity, and I tell people about it every single day. I talk about it every single day. If you want to build something in this business, and if your mouth and your lips are shut, you're never going to build it. Okay? An open mouth is an open business. Just share your passion, share your excitement. Take 1 hour per day. Make it an hour that counts. And if it has to be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, trust me, you've got that time. Every single one of us can look at a report on our phone that'll tell us how much time we scroll and how much time we spend on our social media apps, right? Take that time and start building a business, okay? And do that consistently for 90 days. Do that 1 hour every day for 90 days. Watch how your entire life changes. Because in this business, we're on like a 90-day cycle. So right now, the work that I'm doing and the seeds that I'm planting will probably bloom. They'll sprout in 90 days from now, 60, 90 days from now. So you have to be willing to have delayed gratification. You cannot expect overnight success. And overnight success is why people quit, and it's why people say that doesn't work. No, it's because you didn't work it. If you are willing to work it, it will work. I say that this business works 100% of the time for those who give it 100%. So if you will just give it 100% in your 1 hour a day, and even if it's sometimes you're like, I don't know who cares? It doesn't matter if you don't know what you're doing, or you stumble over your words, or you get on reels and it was like, that was a terrible one. Who cares? I say conversations and content. Spend your 1 hour a day on those two things. Do it consistently and see how your life changes in 90 days. You will be mind blown, because that's what happened to me, and that's what I did.
So good. And it's so,
again, just because it happened to you, it doesn't mean that it's gonna happen to others, because 99% of people end up failing in debt, not earning any money. As per usual, just a bunch of income claims, lifestyle claims. You work, you don't work enough, you fail, which we know it's bullshit. But yeah, let me know down below what you thought about this. You know, I love to hear your guys' opinions, but I do have to wrap this up because I need to get back to work now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like and subscribe button. It will really help me out a lot. And as always, thank you to all of you nice people who are supporting me. I really do appreciate you guys. If you're not coming from my social media, feel free to check me out. My Instagram link is gonna be down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.